Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, back with another Sims info/thoughts video. So I've got some things to talk about from our good old friend Simguru Grant over on Twitter. But first, I do just want to quickly remind you all that toddler stuff and backyard stuff are releasing on consoles tomorrow. Definitely some good packs to release with summer just around the corner. And, well, that's pretty much all I have to say about consoles, so let's move on. Simguru Kate tweeted this morning, "Happy Monday! I have a feeling this is going to be a great week." And, well, that could mean that something exciting regarding The Sims 4 is happening this week. That may be reaching a little bit. But Simguru Grant also retweeted that tweet with a thinking emoji added onto it, so yeah, just adding a little bit of fuel to the fire there. In all seriousness though, we do tend to get at least one game update for the PC per month, and for May, we've had nothing so far. So we are about due for an update, and there's only 2 weeks left, so it's gonna be either this week, or if they want to be really mean, put it out on Thursday, May 31st. And with the aforementioned tweets, it could actually be something decent. Something more than just some separated plants and a new counter island. So, I don't know, we'll have to wait and see, but at the same time, I'm keeping my hopes in check. One thing I would love to see is the return of Burglars, and hey, you know what? There'd be a great time to bring up something else that Simguru Grant tweeted about today. So, I brought up this rumor that happened later last year where apparently someone knew someone who works at EA Sports Burnaby who knows someone within Maxis, and that person at Maxis told them that there were not going to be burglars coming to the game because it would be too triggering for people. Yeah, I know, that sounds like a real elongated man level of stretching there. Now, I'm not saying that people cannot be triggered by burglaries, but it's mainly just the whole source that seems really sketchy. Just the whole friend of a friend, oh, my uncle works at Nintendo sort of thing. I talked about it in a video too, and I didn't believe it back then, and I certainly don't believe it now, but I'm really glad that Simguru Grant has officially debunked it. He replied to me saying, "That is 100% false. While I think it is good and proper for us to consider situations that might trigger folks, seriously I do, this isn't why burglars don't currently exist. Furthermore, we would never implement them in a way that would do so, I hope." As for why burglars haven't been put into the game yet, he says that right now it's been an issue of prioritizing them above other things, finding the right fit, things like that. They've also improved their tech over time to make them more viable, tech they didn't have at launch. And I have a feeling he's referencing the vampire break-ins that we got through the Vampires game pack, because, I mean, that's pretty much burglars, except they actually attack your sim by biting them instead of just swiping an object and running away. And as I said below his tweet, I do find it strange that we got those before burglars, but yeah, definitely gives me a lot of hope that we'll get burglars eventually. I think there's a good chance they're coming. On the flip side, Grant also talked about stuff that's not likely to come to the game, and one of those things is new emotions. It's really too bad. I'd love to see a scared emotion, but he says that basically they have to add emotions to the entire game. So many interactions. They're already absurdly expensive, and in hindsight, they weren't as fully considered as they would have liked. Another thing that he said that's probably off the table are open neighborhoods. Ouch, that one definitely hurts. Although I can't say I'm surprised, because I did make a video a few months back on this very topic about why I think open neighborhoods will never happen in The Sims 4. And while Simguru Grant didn't really say any reasons as to why they won't happen, I think my theories, at least one of them would be right, because I've chalked it up to it being that the game isn't programmed right now to show Sims like going to their neighbors, knocking on their doors while they're not being played as, so there's that, and also performance issues, because I don't know if you've ever played The Sims 4 on really low settings, but Oh boy, there is a huge difference between low and high settings. It's to the point where if you're playing the Uptown District of San Myshuno, it's like super foggy and you can barely see in front of you. And yeah, that's what they're catering to. Imagine if those people started playing with open neighborhoods. The game would suffer even more for them. And for a game mechanic that big, I don't know if they could really just simply program an on or off switch for those people who would rather not play with open neighborhoods to save on performance. I think with The Sims 5, there's a pretty good chance that we could get open neighborhoods back, especially since the Sims community has been very vocal about no open world in The Sims 4, but still, it does hurt a little bit that it seems like it's almost impossible to get open neighborhoods in The Sims 4, because I think they would make the game so much better. I mean, I can deal with no open world. I did that for 2 Sims games, and as well as The Sims 4 so far. But I think it would be great if we were able to just visit a neighbor without having to hit a loading screen, both in normal residential lots and the apartments in San Myshuno. A couple of other things that SimGuru Grant said that are pretty unlikely are landlines and newspapers, because neither of them are priorities. The newspaper maybe, but he thinks it's safe to say they'll never make a landline, but who knows? To add on to that, he also says that it's not that they wouldn't add value, but more that they think other things will add more value for the Sims community. And he does also note that, yeah, there are people who would like to have cell phones be optional because they can be annoying and not everybody in real life has one. And I do agree with Grant on this because, yeah, I don't know, landlines, newspapers, I can take them or leave them. It's not something that I really care much about. I mean, even in The Sims 2, I didn't use newspapers that often because the computer offers more jobs when you go through it that way. And yeah, I think my favorite thing about the newspapers in The Sims 2 was being able to make paper airplanes out of them. It's one of the most stupid but also stupidly amusing ideas that I've ever seen in The Sims. And yeah, with The Sims 3, I barely used them either, so it's not like I missed them. And, well, yeah, with the landlines in The Sims 2, I almost had to unless I made my Sims go out and buy the cell phones. And with The Sims 3, well, I don't know. I can't really remember too much about that particular aspect, but I think, yeah, I don't think I really used landlines too often in The Sims 3 either, although I didn't really like how cell phones were mandatory because, like with Roaring Heights, for example, I pretended that that world literally took place in the Roaring 20s, so it didn't really make sense for my Sims to be running around with cell phones in Roaring Heights. So yeah, I would like it if they did make cell phones optional somehow in The Sims 4. And while we're at it, can we please get some more skins for the cell phones? I think that's one of the most overlooked updates that we've ever had for The Sims 4, and underappreciated, because honestly, I really like that. I really love those sorts of little things that can really help individualize our Sims a bit more beyond the obvious things like aspirations and traits. But if I really wanted landlines and newspapers back, the number one reason would be to make Elder's gameplay more realistic. I was just talking about it the other day, that I think Elders are even more overlooked for new gameplay than children or teenagers. And while it's not really the thing that I'd want most for Elders, at least it would be a baby step in the right direction. But things like walking canes, sewing, retirement homes, I think those would be really great ways to improve Elders in The Sims 4 and possibly make them even better than they've been in previous games. And that wraps up another Sims info/thoughts video. So let me know in the comment section below if you plan on getting toddler stuff or backyard stuff on consoles tomorrow, and what you think of all the stuff that SimGuru Grant talked about today. I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching!